Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Dave here from the Bear Pit TV, and today we've got another transfer roundup. This is just from the past week. We've got 2 transfer rumours about players coming in and 1 going out. So these are the top 3 transfer rumours that I've seen this week. You might not agree, but these are the ones I think are interesting. So I'm going to start with an interesting one because I saw this in the week and I'd seen nothing about it. The other 2 I'd seen a few things about them, but this thing had just popped up in the middle of the week and I hadn't seen anything about it at all. I don't know how many people have actually been reporting it or things, but it has actually happened as well, which is interesting. But Harry Suter, I think say his name, or Sutar, from Dundee United. Reports in Scotland are linking us with a move for him. He's a defender, he's only 17 years old, so obviously we're trying to bring in some more youth players into the academy because we're obviously not producing enough for a Premier League team, and we need to be producing more academy talent because we've seen what clubs can do with that, most notably Marcus Rashford, things like that. So we are looking to bring more youth in, and he's made 2 appearances in the Scottish Premiership. He has scored a goal as well, but he hasn't particularly played much for Dundee United, but he is only 17. And apparently we've made a bid of 250 grand for him, but it was rejected in the week, and that was official as well. Dundee United did confirm that, which is interesting because I haven't really seen us looking at too many youth players, but maybe it's something Mark Hughes wants to do, especially because he's British as well. I know he's trying to bring in a lot more British players into the club as well for the homegrown rule that's implemented every year, and we're trying to get more British players in to try and boost the national team, stuff like that. And I think he could be a good sign if we could get him in on the cheap. I don't want to be paying extortionate prices for him, but if we can get him in for a decent price. Dundee United obviously rate him really highly, and with them having just gone down, I think they may want to keep him for the lower league, so I don't know how likely it is that we're going to sign him, but it would be an interesting move for him if he did choose to come to Stoke, because he will get obviously limited first team opportunities. He'd have to stay in the reserves for a bit with his age and his experience, but once he can build that in the under-21 league and in the cups in that sort of level, maybe you can try and push and try and become one of the young hot prospect players. So hopefully we can try and bring him in, but hopefully not for too much as well, because I don't really want to be paying too much for that sort of player with a real lack of experience. So that's one of the incomings, but we'll move on to the outgoing that also started around a couple of weeks ago, and then it's really rapidly increased as well. In the rumours are just flying around with this. Charlie Adam is the person it revolves around, and that is with reports saying that Burnley are set to complete a deal for him, which I hadn't heard anything about until a couple of weeks ago, and now it's just, as I said before, it's spiraled into massive reports about him. Apparently the fee is believed to be about £1.5 million, which I do not agree with at all. I know he's not had the greatest season with us, and I know a lot of Stoke fans don't really rate him too highly. But I personally like him. I quite like the fact you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes, obviously, I can admit that he is crap in some games, but other games he can just pull something out of the bag that most other players wouldn't. And I think 1.5 million doesn't really reflect how good of a player he can be. And I would say to be selling him, we need at least double that. I know he's got his age on one side. He's coming up into his early 30s, so that is one element to it, the value drop. But I can't see him, an established Premier League player. He could still get into our side for a few games as well over next season. To go for £1.5 million, I don't think Stoke would want to sell him for that either. But if Burnley can pull it off, it'd be a fantastic deal for him because they're getting an experienced Premier League player who's going to fight for everything. Yes, he gives fouls away like literally every minute of the game, but he'll fight for the team and he'll score some cracking goals for him as well. So I think if Burnley can pull that off, it'd be a good deal. It'd be sad for me to see him go because I personally like him. I know a lot of Stoke fans don't, as I said before. But let me know in the comments about Charlie Adam. Would you sell him? Is now the right time to let him go? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be interested to read that, whether you agree with me or not. But let me know down below. And this, finally, is the big story. This was released a couple of days ago. Loads of papers releasing this. Manolo Gabbiadini, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but loads of sources reporting that we've had a bid rejected for him, and they're actually reporting around 25 million euros, which is around 19 million pounds. Now that is the fee we're all wanting at Stoke. That's the fee for a striker we want to be paying. We want that 20 million pound striker. How many people have said that? Whether it's been on Twitter, or it's been in the fan cams we've had, or whatever, how many people have said they want a 20 million pound striker? Well, we're trying for it. We've got Berahino, this guy, everyone. We are trying for this 20 million pound striker. But I'd never heard of him before, so I did a bit of research into him. And he's only got 13 goals in his 2 seasons with Napoli. He's moved there last season, the season before last, and then he's just played another season with Napoli. And he's only got 13 goals, 5 goals last season. But he only makes about 20 appearances because obviously Napoli have got Gonzalo Higuain, who is unstoppable in Italy, and he's not going to beat him to that place. So I'm not going to hold that record to him and say he's a bad player because of that, because he's not. Because he's young, he's 24, he's got plenty of potential. And I think if we can pull it off, it could be good, because we need a younger striker if we're going to pay that much money for him. I wouldn't like to see us pay around that sort of fee for about a 29-year-old, 30-year-old. I wouldn't like to see that, which sort of rules players like Remy out of the picture, because you don't really want to see that. If we're going to spend 20 million, I want him to be there for at least 5. Well, the hope is about 5 years. So 24 years old, that would be a perfect age. And he is scoring goals when he gets opportunities. So I think if we could give him that constant first team place, and if he is good enough in the Premier League, he could score goals on a constant basis. So it would be a deal that is worth watching. I think if we do go in with another bid, it'd be interesting to see what Napoli say, but they obviously regard him quite highly if they're going to reject that sort of money. So who knows what's going to happen with that. But let me know in the comments, like the Charlie Adam thing, would you bring Manolo Gabardini into the team? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's all the transfer stories this past week, guys. If you did enjoy it, leave a like down below. As I said before, leave a comment about any of these stories. Let me know what you think. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, guys, cheers for watching.